You're scrolling through social media, and you see her, the woman who said she wasn't ready for a relationship with you. She's now in a relationship with someone else, someone who, from what you can see, treats her worse than you ever did. Your chest tightens, your mind races with questions. What does he have that I don't? Why wasn't I enough? How did I mess this up? But here's what no one tells you. You didn't mess up by being good to her. You messed up by not understanding the deeper psychological forces at play. What we're exploring today isn't just about female psychology and attraction. It's about the fundamental nature of human desire, power dynamics, and the ancient truths that modern society tries to hide from you. Through the wisdom of great philosophers and psychologists, we'll uncover why being nice often backfires, why challenge creates attraction, and why the strongest men throughout history understood something about human nature that most modern men have forgotten. This isn't about becoming a bad person. This is about becoming a powerful person. By the end of this video, you'll understand the psychological mechanics behind attraction, the hidden tests women use to filter men, and how to position yourself as the rare man who passes these tests naturally. Warning: what you're about to learn cannot be unlearned. Once you see these patterns, you'll recognize them everywhere. Chapter 1. Nietzsche's core insight on human nature. Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the most influential philosophers of the 19th century, had a radical understanding of human nature that directly applies to female psychology and attraction. Nietzsche believed that at our core, humans are driven by what he called the will to power. Not power over others, but power over ourselves, our circumstances, and our destiny. He wrote, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." But this wasn't just about physical resilience. This was about psychological mastery. When it comes to attraction and relationships, Nietzsche understood something that most modern men miss entirely. Women are not attracted to men who need them. They're attracted to men who choose them. There's a massive difference. A man who needs a woman operates from scarcity. He's afraid of losing her, so he tries to please her. He gives up his power, his frame, his center, hoping that his sacrifice will be rewarded with love. But Nietzsche would say this man has already lost the game. Why? Because he's operating from weakness, not strength. He's trying to negotiate for affection instead of commanding respect. Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch, the superior man, is not about dominating others. It's about becoming so grounded in your own power, so committed to your own path, that you naturally become magnetic. The Übermensch doesn't chase women. Women are drawn into his orbit. This is the first principle of authentic masculine attraction. You must become the center of your own universe before anyone else will want to orbit around you. Most men get this backwards. They make a woman the center of their universe and wonder why she loses respect for them. Nietzsche predicted this exact scenario over 150 years ago. He understood that when a man abandons his own will to power in service of someone else's validation, he becomes philosophically and psychologically unattractive. But here's where it gets interesting. This doesn't mean you become selfish or cruel. It means you become selective and sovereign. A man who truly embodies Nietzsche's teachings doesn't need to play games or manipulate. He simply lives according to his own values and allows others to decide if they want to be part of his journey. This is what true confidence looks like. This is what authentic power feels like, and this is what women find irresistible. Chapter 2. The psychology behind female attraction. The psychology behind attraction is far more complex and counterintuitive than most people realize. What we think should attract others often repels them, and what we think should repel them often creates magnetic pull. Let's break down the core psychological principles that govern female psychology and attraction. The scarcity principle. Human beings naturally value what is rare, difficult to obtain, or limited in availability. This is why men who are always available, always eager to text back immediately, always ready to drop everything for a woman, these men often lose attraction points rather than gaining them. It's not because women are cruel or calculating. It's because our brains are hardwired to assign higher value to scarce resources. A man who has a full life, clear boundaries, and his own priorities naturally creates a sense of scarcity around his time and attention. This makes his interest more valuable when it is given. The challenge principle. Psychologically, we are more invested in things we have to work for. This is called the effort justification phenomenon. When something comes too easily, our brain assumes it's not very valuable. This is why the hard-to-get strategy works, not because it's manipulation, but because it triggers genuine psychological responses that increase investment and interest. The uncertainty principle. Studies in behavioral psychology show that intermittent reinforcement, unpredictable rewards, create stronger behavioral patterns than consistent reinforcement. This is why women often become more attached to men who are somewhat unpredictable, who don't always respond the same way, who maintain an element of mystery. It's not that they want to be treated badly. They want to be stimulated emotionally and intellectually. The status and competence principle. Across cultures and throughout history, women have been attracted to men who demonstrate competence, status, and the ability to navigate social hierarchies successfully. This doesn't necessarily mean wealth or fame. It means demonstrating that you're good at something, that you have value to offer, that you can handle challenges and come out on top. The emotional leadership principle. Women are often attracted to men who can remain calm and centered when she becomes emotional. This isn't about suppressing her emotions or being dismissive. It's about providing a stable foundation when she needs one. The man who gets pulled into every emotional drama, who becomes reactive, who loses his center, this man fails a crucial psychological test. The frame control principle. In every interaction, someone's reality dominates. The person with the stronger frame, the clearer sense of reality, purpose, and direction typically leads the interaction. Women are unconsciously drawn to men who can maintain their frame under pressure. This suggests strength, stability, and leadership potential. Understanding these principles doesn't make you manipulative. It makes you psychologically literate. You can use this knowledge to become more attractive while still being authentic and ethical. The key is becoming the type of man who naturally embodies these principles rather than trying to fake them. Chapter 3. Why modern men fail at understanding power dynamics. Modern dating has created a psychological landscape that our ancestors never had to navigate. The result? Massive confusion, frustration, and failure for both men and women. Let's examine how modern society has disrupted traditional female psychology and attraction, and what this means for the modern man. The social media effect. For the first time in human history, every person has access to potentially millions of romantic options through their phone. This has created what psychologists call choice overload and grass is greener syndrome. Women, especially attractive ones, are bombarded with attention from dozens of men daily. This fundamentally changes the psychology of attraction and commitment. In this environment, the man who stands out isn't necessarily the most attractive or successful. It's the man who can capture and hold attention in a meaningful way. The feminization of men. Modern society has systematically discouraged traditional masculine traits like assertiveness, competitiveness, and emotional stoicism. While these changes have some positive aspects, they've also created a generation of men who struggle to attract women at the most basic level. Women say they want sensitive, emotional, communicative men. But attraction doesn't operate on the level of what people say they want. It operates on the level of evolutionary psychology. The result is a massive disconnect. Women consciously prefer men with feminine traits, but unconsciously respond to men with integrated masculine energy. The entitlement epidemic. Both men and women have developed unrealistic expectations about relationships. Men think that being nice entitles them to romantic success. Women think that being attractive entitles them to perfect partners. Both groups have lost sight of what actually creates and maintains attraction over time. The loss of masculine initiation. Previous generations had clear rites of passage that marked the transition from boyhood to manhood. Modern men often reach adulthood without ever being truly tested or challenged in meaningful ways. This creates men who are chronologically adults, but psychologically still boys. And women can sense this immediately. The instant gratification culture. Modern technology has conditioned people to expect immediate results in every area of life. But deep attraction, meaningful relationships, and personal transformation all require patience, persistence, and delayed gratification. Men who approach dating with the same mindset they use for ordering food on an app will inevitably fail. The solution: understanding these modern challenges allows you to position yourself differently. While other men are confused by mixed signals and changing rules, you can operate from timeless principles of human psychology. You become attractive not by adapting to every cultural trend, but by embodying the fundamental qualities that have attracted women throughout history: strength, purpose, emotional control, and authentic confidence. The modern dating world rewards men who can maintain their center while everyone else is losing theirs. The paradox of choice. With infinite options available, the most attractive position is to be so centered in your own value that you don't need to chase any particular option. This creates what psychologists call pre-selection. When others perceive that you have romantic options, you automatically become more attractive as an option yourself. The modern man who succeeds in this environment isn't the one who adapts to chaos, it's the one who provides stability in the midst of chaos. Chapter 4. The Warrior's Path to Authentic Masculinity. The ancient concept of the warrior encompasses far more than physical combat. The true warrior is a man who has mastered himself, his emotions, his impulses, his fears, and uses this mastery to serve something greater than himself. This warrior mindset is essential for understanding female psychology and attraction in the modern world. The internal battle. The greatest battles a man will ever fight are internal. The war against his own weaknesses, his own limiting beliefs, his own tendency toward mediocrity. The man who wins these internal battles develops an unshakable sense of self that naturally attracts others. Women can sense immediately whether a man is at war with himself or at peace with who he is. Emotional stoicism. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or becoming cold. It means developing such mastery over your emotional state that external circumstances cannot easily disturb your inner peace. Women often create emotional storms, not out of malice, but as unconscious tests of a man's stability. The man who remains calm in these storms demonstrates the kind of strength that women find irresistible. The mission-driven life. Warriors don't live for comfort or pleasure, they live for purpose. A man with a clear mission, a driving purpose that extends beyond his own immediate gratification, naturally becomes magnetic. This is because purpose creates structure, discipline, and direction. Women are drawn to men who are going somewhere, not men who are just existing. Physical and mental discipline. The warrior maintains his body and mind as weapons in the service of his mission. This isn't vanity, it's preparation. A man who takes care of his physical health, develops his mind, and maintains high standards for himself sends a powerful signal about his character and his potential. The protector archetype. At his core, the masculine warrior exists to protect what he values: his family, his principles, his community. Women are unconsciously drawn to men who have this protective capacity. But protection in the modern world is rarely physical. It's emotional, psychological, financial. It's the ability to create a safe space where a woman can express her femininity without fear. Strategic thinking. Warriors don't react emotionally to every situation. They think strategically several moves ahead. They understand that every action has consequences and every decision shapes their future. This strategic mindset is incredibly attractive to women because it suggests competence, foresight, and the ability to navigate complex situations successfully. The paradox of strength. True strength is often demonstrated through restraint. The man who could dominate, but chooses not to. The man who could retaliate, but chooses to rise above. The man who could force his will but chooses to inspire instead. This paradox creates a sense of safety and excitement, simultaneously safety because she knows he won't use his power against her. Excitement because she knows he has power to use. Honor and integrity. The warrior's word is his bond. He operates according to a code of ethics that doesn't change based on circumstances or convenience. Women test men's integrity constantly, not consciously, but instinctively. They need to know that they can trust